Welcome to Riverbend Talon on WBGZ. Brought to you by the Halpin Music Company.
Do what?
Another Thursday night in the Riverbend, another Riverbend Talent on the Big Z, brought to you by the Halpin Music Company and by Mr. Matt Van Voorhis of Macias Insurance. Sea Shanty Sing Along underway down at Morrison's Irish Pub on a Thursday night. The Alton Expo tonight, we got Clueless from 7 to 10 at the amphitheater. Open mic, maybe at the conservatory tonight. We'll see what they got going on later. Across the line, 6 to 10 at Fast Eddie's, Joey Miner. That's a Will Hungarian. 6 to 9 at George's Pub and Grill in Jerseyville. Instant replay, 6 to 9 at Big Daddy's in Edwardsville, Jordan Vickery. Until 9 o'clock at the Cabin at Judy Creek and Glen Carbon. Jeff Chapman and Kent Lemon, 7 to 11 at Deutz Village Inn at Pontoon Beach. And we got the Omega Music Open Jam starting at 8 o'clock. And you sign up and you get a cold beer. You're signing up. Be part of the open mic at El Gato Tavern in Granite City. Got the Cam Jam Open Jam benefit for Got Faith Ministries, 6:30 to 9 in the West Main Park in Grafton tonight. Matt Tall at the Prairie Inn until 8:30 tonight in Dorsey, and Scott Marlin underway at the Red Bar in Collinsville until 9. And the open mic hosted by Spencer McDole at the Mississippi Culture in Staunton, 6:30 to 9:30 tonight. And now it's time for the star of the show.
Every week, it just doesn't get old. Oh, another Thursday night, and this is going to be a fun one for me. It's always fun to, I think we know pretty much every musician around the area after 10 years of doing this show once a week, but there's some of them I go way, way back, like farther than car seats go back.
40
like
years,
way.
maybe.
And this is the guys that, man, I cut my teeth with back in high school. One of the first bands that I was, let me carry your amp so I can get in the dance for free in high school. And, we got the Undecided in with us, and so whenever you're going to talk, you're going to have to like lean way up and get into the mic, or you're going to be just dissident. But we like really get in there and like really show some affection. All right, so I'm going to start to my right, Mr. Mike Lombardi. What's going on, Mike?
How you doing?
So
nice to see you.
Always nice to see you. I just bumped into you somewhere.
Why is he always standing up?
Oh, that's right. We're all used to it.
They insist I have a standing desk at work, and now I've just got used to it. No, I don't know. Where did I bump into you the other day? I can't remember.
Oh, we were eating Jetlands.
Oh, yeah, nice, good. And
you were having steak and lobster or something like that.
Steak and lobster. I don't know. It was good though. Whatever it was, I'm sure it's always good down there. Ryan Gentleman does a killer job down there. But hey, man, it's always good to bump into you. And then, I know. I told you then. I said, man, you guys gonna come on? We're gonna get this going on because last year you guys had the 80's mixer, doing it again. And Mike, you came into the band, what year? Do you remember? Remember when you came in? You know,
it was my understanding we weren't going to ask any
all right. Let's move on down.
You said there was a long time ago.
1986.
A long time ago.
86. Yes. He worked with Donnie, and I got to talk.
Yes,
he had the wind sound in his keyboard, and we hired him on.
There you go.
Hold on. Can't hear. I couldn't hear any of that, man.
There, Paul.
I can't hear any of that. So
86. We both worked at National Food Store, and Mike was a big guy up on the ladder, and I was a cart pusher.
Really?
Yeah.
So 1986. Gas was 90 cents a gallon, cigarettes were 90 cents a pack, and Mike joins the band.
I was making $3 an hour. I could get a cheeseburger and a pack of smokes and a gallon of gas for $3 and just happy all day.
Good times, man. Good. So moving on down the line, we got Damon Whitman. You are the newest member of this band. See, I'm going backwards. I'm working back. Yeah, most people would start with the old guys.
Now.
Yes, he has.
Now lean right on in there and talk to me, man. So you joined the band, what, a couple years back?
Yeah, it's a couple years now. Last year I did this with him, doing it again.
Right on, man. And normally you're we've had you in here with Leadfoot.
Yeah, do the Leadfoot thing. So is Paul.
Yeah.
We've been pretty busy with
And the
Boathouse,
share
Bakers,
tribute,
and Hale,
it's
all
amazing
kinds of
that
gigs.
I was going to say you did several tributes. Was it a Boston tribute?
That didn't quite make it.
Yeah.
Share tribute.
That almost
It was close. It was good enough, but one of the guys retired, and you need every piece, as you know.
And that's some tough vocals.
Yeah, it was.
That is some tough vocals.
Everybody in the band had to sing and do parts. It was very difficult. Yeah.
Tommy Schultz don't sing. Tommy's bad. He's but no, that was one of those bands. I saw Boston live.
I did too. It was my first concert, so they was awesome.
It was at the old Checker Dome over there.
Yeah, that was a great show.
Man, who else was there? I can't even remember. It's been so long ago. But yeah,
They
that was
had
the third
guitar
stage.
above the stage, it was awesome.
It was the third stage.
Flying
Yeah, it was great.
They were one of those bands.
I'm also in the Share Tribute Band, and we play Friday at the Lincoln Theater in Belleville.
Nice.
So I had to do that Friday and play with these guys Saturday.
We had a guy sitting in here the other day that's in a Taylor Swift tribute. What a joke.
Who's that weirdo? We know that guy.
Right.
He's part of the bloodline.
So Tom, right next to Damon is Paul Steinbrueck. He chimed in earlier about bringing Lombardi into the band, working it.
Oh yeah, his he had a keyboard that made the wind sound, and his first job was, I believe, at River Air Pool in 1986. Is that right?
River Air Pool.
I think it was.
River Air. I think that was
Wow.
right. We were set up right around the pool deck
Oh
out
my
there.
God! Yeah,
I
we
kind
did
of
a birthday
forgot about
party or
that
something.
stuff.
It was
Dude.
something.
River Air Pool.
That's where it was at.
They thought a
How do you
storm was
remember
coming
that
through.
stuff?
I remember
Dude.
everything, man.
Yeah. All right. Then I'm going to hit you with one. Do you remember the first? It was sort of an unofficial gig that Boris Kosminoff played.
I believe that was at that place that was out there in the corner.
Yes,
out there
across from the college.
at the
Monticello Plaza.
Monticello Plaza in the corner. It became the Heritage Salon in the
Right.
corner.
Yes.
I was actually thinking of Scott Robertson's backyard on Gerson Street.
That was
That was not Boris.
no.
That wasn't Boris
That
that
was
did
that was
Boris was in between Mike.
That was the very first show we ever did. That was August of 1985. And that was Matt Williamson and Scott Robertson.
but then there
and
was
Tim Brooks was the singer, and I was the
But
lead
then there
guitar
was
player.
another one years later that we did in the backyard.
Was there?
And I swear it was like a warm up for Boris's first. There was another
don't
party we
remember
did
that.
underneath
I
the
don't
deck.
remember that either.
Those were the 80s, man. I don't remember that.
You don't remember?
I was living at the house at the time, and I remember like
Yes, you
I
were.
wasn't living there when the Matt Williamson
Maybe we were.
Tim Brooks
I don't
gig
remember.
happened, but
I remember the first one we were selling Vest soda.
Vest
I
soda.
think we ended up making $30 that night.
My sister and her best friend had a job in high school cleaning the Vest Soda offices, and they would pay me to go over with them, and we would have to clean Dr. Schneeberger's office, Dr. Schneeberger, whatever his name was. But they had all these soda machines that were free, and I'd get like 6 or 7 of them and run out to the car when no one was paying attention. So by the time I get home, I had like 20 cans of soda.
Back in those days, we were like, what? Some of us were like 14,
Oh yeah,
15
Oh yeah, absolutely.
years old.
Working the grift.
I think I was the oldest one. I was like 16. I was the only one who had a car back then.
Hey, well, so that's Don Sandage who died. So it all started with Don, like the early.
that lineup I just
what I
mentioned,
was going to say, what I remember the when I first met you guys, when it first kind of kicked off, it was Don Sandage, Matt Williamson on bass, Scott Robertson, Tim Brooks,
Yes.
singing. But I swear, was there a guy named Chuck Berry?
Yeah, that's how old we are. Yeah, there was a guy named Chuck. He backed me up on guitar. Yeah, that's how old we are. It was back in the 50s.
It was a long time ago.
Me and Chuck Berry, we go way back.
You guys invented rock and roll, man.
But we've met Chuck. We've
We've been together almost as long as the Rolling Stones.
Right.
This is our we're over 40 years now, so this is our actual 40-year anniversary.
Yeah.
Coming off that lineup,
Man.
Vinny Changes went along that path, and I guess Tim had left, and then Stein come along, and he joined right there.
Yeah.
And then we were like, okay, we need a fifth guy. So then Lombardi came in. That same year as Stein, which was 86.
And I might be calling it wrong, but I kind of remember Steinbrueck's first gig being Hands Across America.
No. Actually, it was at Alton High School. It was the gymnasium.
It was the air guitar contest.
I do remember that. Now,
everybody was doing, and then we were the live band featured, and we were, was that the Annex Gym?
Yes, in the Annex
Yes.
I played that Hands Across
I still
America
think
in
we should-
Brighton.
Yes.
The Brighton part.
We played it right down. We played Hands Across America
right down there by Fashion Lane.
That was very
And
cool.
you got to lean right
that
on
was
in there.
very
You,
cool.
you got to get in there. We can't hear you. That was Damon Whitman
Hands
saying he
Across
also played Hands Across
That
America.
is
What was the
awesome.
band you were playing with at that time?
I think it was Flyer. Was
Flyer.
Yeah, it was Flyer, I believe.
Ah, nice. So moving down
So
to
hold
the,
on, wait, time out, man. So we're down here playing,
Yeah.
and he's up in Brighton playing.
And we were all-
So
Yeah.
all of our hands had touched at one time when we jumped off the stage to join the chain. So that's crazy. That's
More
crazy.
STDs contracted on that date. No,
Oh,
I don't know if that's true. Fake
You know,
news.
there was some music magazine, taking pictures of my old tied together drum kit, and I'd always love to see pictures of that. I don't know what magazine it went into.
Got
but I wanted to
shoestrings
see it.
tied.
Yeah.
That was back when
That was
Tree
April.
magazine.
Was that April or May?
It was May.
of '86.
Yeah.
May 25th, I believe.
Yes.
Man, see,
I think you're right because their shirt's still roaming around.
Yeah,
I got
that was
one.
about
Still
13
got
years old.
yours.
yeah.
I know they don't.
That was-
Mine don't fit.
It was a long. That was
Yeah,
a
it was a while
lifetime
back.
They
ago,
got
man.
them
But
on
I
Amazon,
still
man.
memories.
You get 'em on
good.
Amazon.
I replaced
So
mine with an Amazon.
moving all the way down to the final chair down there,
Tell us the
we've
story how
got
you got there, Tom. How you do this fiasco.
the farthest away from me I can barely see at this age, Mr. Tom Pullen. What's up, buddy? A proprietor of Mojo Music.
Indeed.
Up in Edwardsville.
Yes.
So if you were up in that way, stop in and say hello
For
to
most
the
of your
man.
musical needs.
Yeah.
Not all of them. I know.
Pretty much.
Not all of
We
them.
don't do bagpipes.
Right? Can you make me better? Can you just make me sound good when I
No,
play
I
or
can't.
sing?
That's
Nope.
what I'm saying. I most.
Yeah.
It's like one size fits most. You know. Oh, and by the way, I just looked it up while you guys were talking. The 40th anniversary is Ruby. So if you guys are buying us anything,
Ruby?
bring it Saturday night. And they're rubies. Okay.
I want the ruby slippers.
Yeah.
So I did not know that, Ruby. I'll have to keep that in
Say
mind
that
in case
means
I
anything
make
red.
it that long. To a 40-year anniversary. So
No.
you came along in the band at what time? Do you remember?
87.
I don't even remember.
See, no,
I'm guessing 87.
I was going to say, I'm asking questions that are really hard.
Right. So Paul and I had sort of, band hopped for several years, and we were probably in 25 bands together. That's kind of an exaggeration, but. And then he gave me a call one day, and he said, "Oh my God, dude, our bass player just moved, and we've got a gig at the Expo."
Yeah,
He's
I
like,
remember that.
"Can you help me out?" And I'm like, "All right."
Well, that was Tim Palin was our bass player there when Matt first left.
Yeah.
What happened to him? I don't know what happened
Okay.
with him.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's another story. We'll talk about that on Monday.
But you were like,
Matt moved
off
his
the
career.
subject.
he said, we got to have a bass player, and I'm like, "Okay, I'll play the gig, but I don't want to be in the band." And then I got around to quitting like 3 years later.
It takes a minute.
Yeah,
It takes a minute. If I remember right, that was like on that little stage that was on a dirt hill. It was before
Yes.
it was
Yeah,
the
the
first
concrete.
time you guys played the Expo, I think.
No, actually, the first time we
lean
played
on
the
it.
Expo, there was no dirt hill. We played on the ground.
Oh, yeah,
They
I
built
do
us a
remember
dirt
that.
hill, if you remember.
Yeah, the second time.
second
was
time,
with the
yeah.
concrete
And then there was
pad.
I don't know, 50 by 20 foot concrete slab on top of this dirt mound.
Yeah.
And then they put the little lean-to over it, which was a roof, and they had a nice place to hang lights and stuff. That ended up being what it was. If you look back some of the photos that we got, with our old 1968 U-Haul backed up. That was before they put the roof on it. You could just see the mount of the hill. I see the U-Haul in the background. You're there. We're all unloading it, man. That was probably 87-ish, 88-ish.
Yeah.
And then they built the roof, and then of course we went on in the late 80s when they started bringing
the
in
big
the fireworks
stage.
in Mississippi,
Yeah.
and we started playing with all this great bands that
Greg
came
Kihn.
through. Greg Kihn, BTO,
Yeah.
Romantics, Who else was there? Kansas, Great White, BTO again.
If I remember right, though,
ELO. Who else was we
ELO.
with?
Now you're talking.
Who else was we with?
If I remember right, though, on the Dirt Mound one, on the old stage, I think Melvin Seals and the Melting Pot played on that one, and that was amazing. I was like, whoa!
Yeah, I think that was an expo gig. I know there was Billy Peak was on that stage.
Yeah.
Killer blues guy from St. Louis.
Okay.
He played with Chuck Berry.
Yeah.
Billy Peaks.
So yeah, there were some real bands on that stage.
Oh yeah, and like you say, it was just a dirt mound. with
and then we played there too.
That was the Dirt Hill. I missed all that.
It was the Dirt Hill. Yeah.
Hold on, if you remember
down there and opened up for Survivor.
Now, if
Slide on in there. What was
I
that?
played that stage was awesome too.
yes,
That
you
old
did.
stage
Your
down
band played with Survivor too.
there. Yeah, we opened up for Survivor. It was great.
One thing I was gonna say, if you go way back now, I'm gonna blow you guys' minds here. Even right after the Hands Across America deal, where the stage was down there on 3rd Street or whatever.
Yeah.
If you remember, before the casino came in and everything, there was that little parking lot, which would be right across from where the Lincoln Douglas Square is.
Yeah.
Where all the
Oh,
trees.
yeah.
They had a stage set up there, and we did a show there, out in that parking lot. I don't remember what it was for.
That was actually in Lincoln Douglas Square,
It
wasn't
was
it?
kind of a little. It was kind of a little bit down from that. That had to been. That had to been 87-ish too. You know, so there's another stage. Funny how the stages have moved all over downtown Alton, and we've been a part of all of them. It's kind of weird.
Well, that was all 6 or 7 6 baseball fields down there for the longest
Yes,
time. It was 4.
That's where I played Little League ball.
Yeah, it was 4 of
That
them
was Henry
back
Street,
to
wasn't
back
it? That was Henry Street,
at
Park
Henry
Lot.
Street, and then two other ones down here at Riverside Park.
Yes.
And yeah, that's my memory as a child.
Underneath the old bridge.
The mud volleyball pit.
My
That was right by the
Oh yes.
by the concrete stage.
Yeah, right to the left of
Yep.
looking out across. Yeah.
that Riverside Park is where I made some early acquaintances. My brother played Little League, and I was too little to play, and Matt Tall's brother was on my brother's team,
Yep.
and he was too little. So I met Matt Tall. I met Derek Howard the same way. His brother was on my brother's baseball team. So you just kind of end up hanging out with these kids.
I played
you
on
know.
the Cobras back then. We played all of our games underneath the bridge.
Cobra Kai.
You know, so yeah.
Sweep the leg.
It was great. And then also, you know, after I left, you know, Little League football after like 7 years or whatever, I went to Marquette. That's where we practiced football.
Man,
and you
yeah.
had to be careful. Us kids at Marquette, we had to walk over the field and pick up all the glass off the ground before we could practice.
Nowadays it'd be like needles and stuff. They got I don't know.
That's Northside Park. That's another story. Back in the
Speaking of
70s.
stages, they got a new stage we're playing on.
Bring it on in there.
Yeah, Saturday we'll be playing on a new stage.
Oh,
down
yes.
at Mac,
Brand new,
so
really
probably
nice.
needs to be mentioned. They put some money in.
Those guys are doing.
Tell us about it, Tommy.
Yeah, so
there you go.
You know, I had a chance to talk to Robbie about what they're planning down there, and it's going to be a new venue to bring some acts that we normally wouldn't see in downtown Alton.
The day after us.
The day after us, yeah.
Atlantic Rhythm
Atlantic
Section's
Section.
playing on the same PA and setup we
Yeah.
are. So.
I just heard that my band's playing at Shea, Maryland on Sunday, and someone's like, "Oh yeah, Atlanta Rhythm Section's down the road, man. What, you know, you're wasting your time."
Chris is going to run their sound.
Yeah.
We're leaving our gear up
It's
for
the
them.
same
to use.
gear we're using.
Oh yeah, so I was actually wondering who was going to run when I heard Atlanta Rhythm Section was coming to
He's
town. I
got
was
all
kind of
new
curious
LED
who was
lighting
going
and
to be
stuff.
running
Supposed to
it.
be
So,
nice.
Really?
Nice.
Yeah, no more park hands. They're all
So that's
LED.
you guys will be some
Less
of the first
power,
people.
less heat.
You guys will be some of the first
We're the
people
first
on
event on the stage.
Yeah.
First event on the new
Yes.
stage. Nice.
We drove by on the way here. Tell them it's looking.
Yeah, they just got the staircase in for us. All kinds of cool stuff. So
I
it's
checked it out the
it's
other
gonna be a
day.
nice looking stage. Good. I mean, it's big, solid. Like last year we appreciate the stage, but
Wiggle.
it's on a little bit of a curved street, and we're like, oh man.
We had it shimmed.
At this age, I was afraid I was going to break a hip or something.
You know, it worked, but this is just much nicer.
There were no stairs.
No stairs.
I'm good.
And that can be an important thing. I brought up Melvin
wheelchair
Seals
accessible.
earlier. In
It is.
2017, I had him play at my festival, and the one thing he said at the end, he said, "I'll play for you anytime. You did great, but I need stronger stairs. I'm a big man."
That's right.
And we had some rickety stairs going up to the stage. I'm like, I didn't realize how important that was.
Good stairs and a roof. Roof's very important.
There's no roof yet.
I was just mentioning that, but
Tom will talk to him. Maybe they'll add a roof.
The covered stage is
talk to him too.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. There's phase 3 and 4 and 5 going on here. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
So, so we're bringing the 80s back to Alton, man. Going back in time. And
does somebody have a DeLorean they can?
I actually asked, and
bring down
Dr.
park in
Bemis
front of the
actually
stage?
sold his DeLorean recently, so it is no longer in town. I was going to try to get it down there.
That'd be awesome.
Couldn't pull it
Just
off.
have a flux capacitor.
Yeah, we could make something.
So last year was the first of these 80s mixers.
They're estimating about 1,400 people were there last year.
I think it was more than that.
So I went down to it last year.
It was more than 1,400.
It was packed. So the road there in front of Max and the lot between Max and the library, all the way down to 3rd Street was pretty packed.
Yes.
And here was my take on it. If you again went to school in Alton in the 80s, every 2 to 3 steps, you have to stop and talk to somebody because you see somebody.
That's why we're doing this.
And that's the whole
unfortunately,
point of this, right?
Unfortunately, at this age, you can't.
Right.
At least me, I can't remember all of the names. I'm like, Louise? No, I don't know what's your name.
No, it's Charles.
I know the face.
Like, man, how did I get that?
But seriously, every 2 or 3 steps, you see somebody from high school, somebody from the way back that you haven't seen,
Or somebody from other towns.
Yeah,
Right.
Or
Wood
some,
River, Roxana, Jerseyville.
Get on in a mic where I can hear
Yeah.
you, man. You look, you're just doing a dance to me.
We
right
started seeing everybody from Hardin, Jerseyville, Wood River, Roxana, Bethalto, Alton.
I'm
Well,
in
it was a
Southwestern
bright-
plan,
bright-
so all of them are coming too.
Brighton's my second hometown, so that's where my
That's me.
family's from. So everybody you ran into, you knew from way back. And evidently, I've been told that there's a whole bunch of people coming down from north.
Yeah.
Jerseyville area, Brighton.
My family,
Well,
my family put a racetrack in Brighton, a bike track in Brighton.
Oh my God!
Yeah, that was my family that built the bike
I know
track
what
that's
you're
up
talking
there.
about,
Yeah.
Our goal
Yeah,
with this,
my nephews.
with this party, man, was to get people back listening to each other and
Yeah.
talking and just hanging out together. And we looked at the logistics of last year. For the first year, it was cool, but it's like we need more. And so Robbie built a stage, and we moved everything around to the. Now, I'd like to believe that he's built it just because of us. All right, so Robbie, when we talk on Saturday, please don't break my.
Unlike the
Yeah.
unlike the amphitheater that was built thanks to us.
Right.
So that's 2 stages that we own now. And go ahead, Tom.
So
Don't forget that.
but so we're opening up the stage over in the Tony's parking lot for the bands. We're blocking off 4th Street down to the corner there, and then all of Bell Street again. So we're going to have a lot more room to spread out. Robbie said he bought like 1,000 picnic tables or something crazy. I mean,
Right.
everything they do right.
Over the top.
Yeah,
Right.
and so he bought all these little fold-up picnic tables and stuff. There's going to be plenty of seating down there. It's just going to be killer. The food out on the street, we have themed shots. So we're going to have Pretty in Pink, and we're going to have Purple Rain, and it's going to be a blast. And yeah.
Hold on, I got a question. So they've got this, it looks like it's going to be a patio up on the far side. The stage is over by the big giant guitar.
Right.
So is that going to be like a sitting area, Tom?
So, yeah, I can't divulge a lot of plans, but there will be VIP.
It looks like it.
There's going to be VIP areas in this, not this time, obviously.
Right.
But when this whole thing gets rolled out, it's going to be really cool and super nice.
Right on.
And lots of good parking and everything. So the parking lot behind Danny's is available for parking. As I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
So.
And the parking lot right across the street from that also.
So what we're talking about is the old parking lot for Tony's.
Yeah.
Where you used to go in the side door to get your pizza. That's where the freaking stage is now.
We're the pizza.
Yeah. And then right in front of Danny's is going to be blocked off, correct?
Yep.
And then all the way down in front of Max, blocked all the way to 3rd.
Yep.
So we're going to have this giant horseshoe loop of activities with DJs going on the far street, sitting areas in front of Danny's, so you can catch up with your friends, so you can get your head blown off by people jamming on DJ stuff, or us blowing your face off with rock and roll. There'll be a little spot where you can just relax and talk to your friends. So that's what we're doing?
That's what we're doing. I mean, somebody asked me the other night, he said, so what do you have planned for us on Saturday? I'm like, nothing. We are from the generation that they said, look, here's a piece of land, here's a keg, here's a band, go have fun.
Do something, yeah.
And we figured it out on our own.
Here's the woods.
Right.
We're coming down there to apply peer pressure to the entire town.
We want you to
We're going to
drink
make questions and decisions in downtown Alton. That's basically what's going on. So
drink a lot, eat a lot of food, and have a good time.
Yeah. But I mean, we don't plan stuff like that. We just found things to do, right?
Yeah.
And that's kind of what we're celebrating. It's like a whole generation of people who know how to have fun without having, a tour guide.
And one last thing, think about it, what he just said. And here we are 40 years later, and that's all we ever wanted to do was just have a good time, plan something fun. That's what we started in 1985. That's what we're doing here 40 years later. Same thing, same concept.
Yep. I've lived my life by that concept.
That's it.
I mean, Warren Zevon says, "Enjoy every sandwich."
That's right.
You never know. What's your last.
I like to quote the philosophers Bill and Ted.
Does Dennis have anything to say tonight? I heard a word from Dennis.
He's being awful quiet.
Dennis
he's up to something.
Dennis is way too quiet, man. What do you got to say there, boss?
A lot of people here. So I'm just,
okay,
leaving the space.
We want to hear
Somebody's
from you.
got to leave the space in there. One thing that hasn't been mentioned is more than one band playing.
Really?
Well,
yeah.
Well, we weren't going to talk about
what we're going to do is we got 3 bands. We got Porch Cafe going on at 6 to 7:30. Then our band, the Undecided, is going to hit it at 8. We're going to play it about 9:30ish, and then our good friends the Bishops are coming on at 10. And they're going to play probably till 11:30 or so. So this is really good. We got, matter of fact, Brent McCarty was in the Undecided many, many years ago, back in '87. We had an apartment together, lived together. And
right behind the mall, man.
We had some parties there. So Brent's got his band, Porch Cafe. They're going to be opening up the show. And then we're coming on, and then our good old friends, the Bishops, are going to be closing it out. So two of the longest running
and I have an announcement.
tenured bands in Alton, like the Bishops and the Undecided. I mean, what can you ask for?
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Nice.
And I have a breaking announcement. Doug will be sitting in with them.
Oh, really? Rafferty's going to sit in with the Bishops. Nice.
He's going to be there for a few songs too.
Oh, that's going to be awesome.
Guest
yeah, that's awesome right there.
Yeah.
So I want to. That's awesome, but I want to go back and comment on the apartment. You said there was some good parties there. Plural. I remember one party. It started the day you moved in, and it stopped the day you moved out. We only took breaks for gigs, which was just parties.
I was going to college at that time. That was back in '87. I think I was studying radio out there at Lewis and Clark.
Yep.
And I was homeless.
Mike Dreeth, who used to own this.
Yes,
was probably your
he was
teacher.
my teacher.
Yeah,
and I was just trying to get my songs on the radio, basically.
Sure, that's why we all got here.
I had a single that we had wrote and recorded called "Spell on Me," and which ended up getting played on KSHE and ended up coming in second place in Missouri Songwriters Contest back in '87.
Right.
Too. So, but I wanted to get that on the radio. So, yeah, I ended up moving in with Brent. He was part of the band. We were good buddies, and we both went to Marquette, and he played rhythm guitar and occasional keyboards, and I had a place to rest my head. We cooked ramen noodles on a kerosene heater, and we had no electricity. So my father was the mayor of Alton, of course. We had those cases of all those mayor campaign candles. So that was our electricity. I would borrow them out of my dad's garage and had candles all over the apartment. That was our heat.
It was heated with candles.
It was heated.
It takes a lot of candles to heat an apartment.
We were poor, but we were having a good time. We were having a good time, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good to have them opening up, and then our other good friends closing it out. So this is going to be. We're going to be in between a good sandwich, is what we're going to be, right?
And the bishops, you bring them up, of course, Fritz Beer, obviously, and Rafferty sitting in, but Eric Hornetoad, who was with them for 5 years, me and that dude again. Way back, like some of the earliest, one of the first sets of guys I jammed with, or some of the earliest guys I jammed with, was like Mike Creekmore and Eric Hornetoad.
Gosh, one of our earliest,
bunch of
best, God rest his soul.
Yeah, I wasn't allowed.
A lot of these bands come from Evan, Elm Street, like us.
Well, so Tim and Paul and I were all in a band with Louis Bunzy at one point. And he kind of tells the story like it was that thing you do.
Louis is a great drummer.
We did this gig, and then our drummer goes and joins the Air Force and just disappears. And he's like, I thought we actually had a band.
Is that what he did?
Yeah.
Well, good for him.
And then
that's good.
And then Ben Herzon, the bass player, was in a band with us back when we did like Doors covers and stuff. So,
Man.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's a small world.
It is.
It comes right down to it. And
it's an Alton world.
Get on in there, man.
It's an Alton world, our little circle that we created a long time ago, along with Dennis and his band. Because don't let him fool you. This guy's a bad mamma jamma himself.
Shut your mouth.
So he's part of that original crew too, even though he ain't gonna speak much. Listen to his voice; he can sing like a bird.
1989 was that when Cottonmouth?
Yeah, that's
Cottonmouth came in.
Yeah,
that's all right.
See, right in there.
Still,
it's awesome.
That's still in the 80s. It's still part of what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Now that, in all honesty, what we kind of found in the past 10 years is there's so many musicians in this area, and of course, like right where the river bends and runs backwards, that's where fine people.
You know what's so
drawn
cool about this area? Think about this area. Let's go way back.
Oh yeah.
To the early, like even before the Undecided and other bands. Even like
you mean like the 1800s?
We're talking about some of the original punk rock, new wave stuff that developed here. We weren't isolated in one type of music. There was country, there was rock, there was metal, there was punk, there was glam rock. We had a nice little mix here in Alton, Illinois, and a lot of towns can't say that.
Right. So you brought up Billy Peak earlier, and we in 10 years we've kind of traced it back to where rock and roll was invented, and rock and roll was invented right here in Illinois. Between Washington Park and Granite City, and that's where Johnny Johnson,
East
Ike
St.
Turner, basically the East St. Louis area is Chuck Berry gets a lot of credit, but it was the Johnny Johnson trio that brought him in when the Johnny Johnson saxophone player got sick on a New Year's Eve. He had a stroke, and so now Johnny needs a player, but he wants the best player that's available on New Year's Eve. And Chuck didn't have no gig.
Didn't he settle the Beatles down too, though?
Well,
didn't George bring him in to settle the boys down?
Well, we got a direct connect to the Beatles. Bonnie Bramlett.
I know.
Bonnie Bramlett.
There you go.
Born here in Alton,
born right here in
Granite
Alton.
City, the first white Ikeette. And there's Ike
only
and Tina
white.
Turner. They invented distortion.
My parents used to go watch them in the bars long before they sponsored our band. So we have that, what do they call that? The seven, whatever.
The 7 steps.
7 degrees of Kevin Bacon.
Yeah, 7 steps to Kevin Bacon.
Yeah, so we're kind of hooked to everybody and everything right here in Alton, Illinois. And then think about the statue you got downtown, man. It was born here.
Miles Davis, man.
Come on, man.
Bitches Brew. I could listen to that over and over.
But yeah,
all 28
what?
minutes and 38
seconds. Look at some of your
seconds.
greatest rock bands. Rock guitar players like Angus Young. I'm a fan of. AC/DC. Huge Chuck Berry fan. Chuck Berry was from right here in this area. So everybody wants to say, king of rock and roll, whatever. That's fine, but this might be the birthplace of rock and roll right here.
So,
right.
At least the fallopian tube of it.
That's around the corner.
I mean, we just, after having Bonnie Bramlett on the show and having who was actually Steve Scorfina took us back and told us some old school stories too.
Because right across the river, Almond Joy was playing.
Yeah,
that's the
Allman
Brothers.
No way.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Before they were the Allman Brothers.
Michael McDonald's hanging out.
If you remember the fireworks in Mississippi, we had the Battle of the Bands thing. There was that year we won it in '93. And then they asked us to be the judges the following year. I guess it was 93, 94 or whatever. And then we had, what's his son?
Devin Allman.
Yeah.
Exactly. We played, they had the stage set up at the back of the old Richards the Club.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
And so me and Paul were the judges of this winner of this next contest. Right. And his band had played. He was just getting started. Yeah. And this was Junior, basically.
Yeah.
You know, looked just like his daddy.
So I just saw him play last year at the Allman Betts reunion.
And that was when he was just first starting out. It was like 93-ish, 94-ish. And me and Paul, the guys were put in charge of being judges of the new Battle of Bands because we were out of it because we won the year before. So we got to sit there and listen to this kid. He was ripping. He was fantastic to find out. I'm like, what? That's his daddy? What?
So Dwayne and Greg had a band called the Allman Joys, and they were based out of St. Louis, and they played here. And then when they became the Allman Brothers, they but they
had girlfriends.
They had girlfriends that were
Who's
here.
his mother?
And then
he's from here.
So then the Dwayne Betts too, man. Dickie Betts' son, man, he was a shredder too. When I saw them play together a while back, but. Back to the 80s mixer because that's coming up.
Yeah.
This Saturday?
Saturday.
That can't be Saturday already.
No way.
Is this
We're not
Thursday?
ready. We got to go.
I thought it was Tuesday. That happened to you too? You woke up, thought it was Tuesday. It's Thursday.
I always do.
Happens all the time.
Get back in time.
All right. So this Saturday.
Saturday.
What time does it kick off?
Anytime after about 4:30 or 5 o'clock, I'm rolling in, grab some eats at Max, and then music starts at 6. Actually, probably starts about 5:30 with the DJ. 6 o'clock with the
Porch Cafe
first band, and then we'll have a pretty short turnover period just to get people on stage. But there's about half an hour between bands, and then DJ going all the way into the night, and they've got some cool stuff planned. Later in the evening, they're going to roll up a Wix dance party fest. They've already got it all planned out.
Nice.
So that will be the place to hear the Salt and Pepper.
Hilarious.
Salt and Pepper.
Oh man, so that's going on Saturday night down at Max and really outside that whole downtown area. If you're down there, you'll be able
to find the giant guitar.
The new giant guitar that's hanging there. That's happening Saturday. Again, music getting started at 6. What's going on Friday there, Mr. Dennis?
Well, we got the expo, so we got the Dirty Mugs down at the amphitheater from 8 to 11. Buzz Tones at the Flock, and Bubby and Sissy's having a pageant. So if you want to enter that pig pen, there's your chance.
Get in it.
I think I already got my name on there, but I bought my dress already. I'm hoping I get in.
So that's what's happening in Alton. We got Rum Boogie out at the BFW and Dueling Pianos out at Baker's Nail. So,
what's Dueling Pianos?
They just a couple of wrestlers.
They beat their pianos together.
A couple of wrestlers show up and body slam each other over pianos.
Wait a minute. They don't play the piano?
They play
Don saying
that'd be kind of cool.
Don off mic is asking what the dueling piano.
I think that would be kind of cool. I've never heard dueling piano.
So not only will they play
I've never
anything,
seen it. I'm into that.
These guys will play anything, and I've actually been to these events where people will request a song that they don't know, and one piano player will entertain while the other one goes out and watches it on a video real quick, and then they come in and play it that's that quick.
That sounds pretty.
It's insane how quick they are. It's insane how fast you watch them.
I love the piano, man.
Really?
Mike Lombardi. I love the piano.
Piano man.
Love it.
Sing us a song.
You're the piano man.
Also on Friday night, Alton legend John Mondine. His 4 and 20 CSNY tribute down at the Mill in Granite City.
Nice.
Nice.
That's a heck of a show right there. Mondine is a monster. Monster, I tell you. What else we got?
Well, we got the Beetle Fest pre-party.
What's that?
Because Beetle Fest is happening this weekend.
That is up in not Dorsey,
What's
Warden.
Beatles? Is the Beatles?
Prairtown, Dorsey,
Prairtown.
Prairtown.
Is it the Beatles? Mm-hmm. Really?
It's the Beatles.
Because I'm a tax man. Yeah, I'm a tax man.
A bunch of local musicians, including Everhart and Light.
Nice.
They do tribute to the Beatles.
Sweet.
up in Prairie Town.
It's been going on for years up there now. I think it's called When I'm
Check that
64
out.
or something. I don't know. I can't remember. I don't
You're
know.
right.
I am
Is it
the
Kansas?
Eggman.
You're not the Eggman. I'm the Eggman, bro.
I am the Walrus.
Walrus,
you're the
bro.
Eggman. Look at you.
What else?
And that's on Saturday, by the way. The
The Beatles?
Beetle Fest.
I love
that's a benefit for the fire department.
Oh,
up there
nice.
In Prairie Town, so
Sweet.
helping out the firefighters.
Awesome.
Well, there's all kinds of stuff going on Friday night and Saturday night. This is just an amazing
Sunday.
weekend.
Well, you got pages and pages
You got
of
10
stuff.
pages of
Yeah.
stuff.
Hit me with some highlights.
Well, you want to do some Saturday because we actually we covered most of the stuff I was gonna hit on. Let's see, Saturday at the expo you got NGK, George Brock Jr.
Okay,
Talk
explain.
about the history of rock and roll. His father, George Brock Sr., opened up all them clubs in St. Louis. Had all those blues players.
Wait,
coming
Which
up
clubs
here.
are those? I'm not familiar. Explain.
There's
George-
2 or 3 different ones.
George Brock Sr. played with Muddy Waters.
Okay.
He played with Howlin' Wolf. That dude played with the legends of the blues, man.
No way.
Yeah,
One of my favorite stories he told about his dad is one time he was visiting him, and he looked down on the ground. There's this guy laying there, wasted. And
Sleeping on the
turned out-
porch.
Turned out to be Stevie Ray Vaughan.
He was sleeping on the porch the whole summer. He said he was just this greasy-headed white guy sleeping on the porch. And we'd have to step over. He was always drunk as could be. And then we saw him on the TV a couple years later. So his aunt lived right next door to B.B. King.
Yeah.
This dude is so steeped
So
in
he's
the blues,
playing where?
man.
He's playing down at the
it was like
expo.
Reedy.
Okay.
3:30 to
Richards.
6:30.
All right.
Yeah, we could run over there on
Just
break.
like that.
We set up and do our sound check.
No kidding. All right, continue on, sir.
So the cool thing about the blues, though, as we all know, that's where the rock and roll came from. That's
Exactly.
what Chuck Berry was tapping into. All these blues guys that come here to St. Louis, and the reason St. Louis was a big deal in the blues is because those folks coming from the Delta was headed to Chicago, right? And they didn't get paid anywhere
They were looking for work.
except St. Louis.
They
They got
could-
some
they could
money
get-
when they come
Yeah.
to St.
They
Louis.
could get gigs in Memphis. They could get gigs at all the other places on the way up, but they couldn't get paid too.
Right.
But here they get.
Notice they hit the fact that, St. Louis Blues,
Yeah.
hockey team.
Well,
Exactly.
Continue on there, sir. I like what you're telling me.
George
Yeah.
Brock
We
said
didn't get paid
that when the blues
Right.
guys
We're still
going
in
working
the
their way from the Delta to Chicago hit St. Louis, they not only got a plate of chicken, but they got some cash too. Where usually they would just get dinner and sent on your way.
Well, dinner in your way and then cash.
Well, that helps make that final leg to Chicago.
Well, a little more about the blues. We got, Chuck was huge influenced by the blues, and then Johnny Johnson came along, and Chuck was sitting there watching his right hand. You know what?
That's where it
I should
started.
play that type of rhythm.
You throw that in with Ike
St.
Turner's
Louis.
newly invented distortion.
That's right.
Rocket 88.
Rocket
Yeah.
88.
Yeah, that was
Considered
great.
one of the first rock and roll songs.
Yeah.
So,
Ike Turner.
And
Great
I like
car,
to go.
too.
I like to go even further back. You know what kind of festivals they used to have in this area on the mounds?
Now you're
Yeah.
going way
Yeah,
back.
exactly.
He's going way
I'm
back
going
now.
pre-Columbus.
Right.
Yeah, like drum festivals.
Oh,
Yeah, those guys could hit a log.
No way.
I guarantee they're hooting and hollering.
They were
and raising
rocking.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So I'm back to that magic place we were talking about.
All right, we're
It's
having
right
a
here.
lesson here with Dennis Laird. Let me tell you, the
mound is
we're getting a
rocking.
rock and roll lesson here with Dennis Laird.
We've gotten
Now
lessons
we can't shut
from,
him up.
I know, I love it.
The lessons come from the folks that
Sit
lived
right
it.
where you're at, yeah,
lived
and
it.
and told
Steve
us the stories.
Scorpina, like we mentioned, original REO Speedwagon guitar player. Him and Michael McDonald told us the
Oh,
story
yeah.
about
Oh, yeah. We're familiar with all them guys.
Yeah,
We've
hanging out.
hung out and played with them.
hanging out at a church. It was converted into a club, and they couldn't get in. They were too young, but Almond Joy was playing in there. So I mean,
Those guys are just sitting out wishing they were old enough to get in. Now, what I like those, so I forget what they were called, Scorfina and Mike McDonald and someone else had a band, and they were like 15, but they were playing sororities.
I think 11. 11.
Yeah, like 11 or something like that. It's like, man, that's just insane.
Didn't that keyboard player from like REO, Neil Dougherty or whatever, he's from like
Dougherty.
Godfrey or something?
Yeah, I think so.
It's like
I think it's
right
yeah.
here.
I think it's family lived there, but I'm not sure if he's from there yet. Yeah.
And he's like
I
the
go
main
to pizza to their house back when I was a pizza boy.
I got a text from a friend a few weeks ago that was at a show over in St. Louis, and I guess the Gin Blossoms played, and he goes, "Hey, they just said the drummer's from Alton, the drummer for the." I'm like,
really?
I don't even know who the drummer is, but I might have went to school with him. I mean,
I guess Damon's the drummer of the Gin Blossoms.
I wouldn't doubt it. It's only got like 35 projects going on.
Incognito.
He didn't tell us about that one.
got to keep some under his head. What else we got going on?
Yes, Dennis.
Let's get back to Saturday. We got the release party for Liver Jones and the Flatworms. Their 5th release party at the Conservatory in Alton.
Nice. Those guys put out a lot of music.
On Saturday?
Yeah. And Leadfoot, remember, right? Liver Jones and the Flatworms.
Oh, that's Greg.
Greg Morris.
Okay, yeah. Greg, he actually played for the Undecided.
He was actually I think he sat in Tom's chair one of the times you guys were in here. I can't remember what gig you were playing.
Yeah, we did an all-original concert for the Granny's Rocker reunion out there at the third shoot when it first opened. Man, there was like 3,500 people there.
Yeah.
It was crazy. Cars were lined up. That was when it first opened. And we did the Granny's Rocker reunion, and he actually came in and played bass for us.
Yeah, nice.
And learned all of our old originals.
Well, and he goes back to he's back to high school with us, too. He was
he goes back to...
Was he in Palace?
Yeah.
He was in Palace, man. I remember.
Yeah, I played with him back then.
Yeah, Mike was in Palace for a minute, too.
Yeah.
Mike Lombardi was there. And our friend Tony Morales, who's now playing music soundtrack, doing Arnold Schwarzenegger stuff. He's out in California, and wow, I mean, we got a lot of friends out there doing, even like Danny Brown's out there doing movie soundtracks and all kinds. It's crazy, you know. And Tommy Codras, you know, the list goes on.
Yeah,
people associated with the Undecided have gone on.
I forgot about Tom Codras. He lived right behind your parents.
He got 25 Miramax film credits now.
Nice.
He was my next door neighbor.
I jammed with him in a band for a hot minute, man.
Yeah.
Right behind, because we practiced right behind your mom's house, and it took me back where I'm like, man, we hung out in that garage a lot a few years ago.
Oh my God! You know, hey, how many people have done great things associated with this band? It's kind of amazing to think about it. How many movie credits do we have now?
Everybody but
everybody but guys in the band. We're all still plugging along 40 years later. If you cross our path, we'll make you famous.
Right. Mike, none of us.
That's okay.
Oh, I like it. I like your honesty, son.
It's all right. We do what we can do.
Hell, you know what I think we've all done is had a good time.
I don't have plans.
And I think that's how you win the game.
We're gonna do it one more time. Saturday.
Yeah, you know.
We're gonna do it one more time. It might be the last, so don't miss it, man.
It's gonna be a blast.
This might be the 40 and the last. 40 years, it might be.
This could be the last time.
Depends on how my throat holds out. I don't know. I'm getting old, and I can't scream much more after 40 years.
You gotta coat your throat with Vaseline. That's an old Elton John trick.
Yeah. I just coat it with some whiskey, and I go on and just roll with it. That's what I do.
I got a wicked bruise in the back of my throat right now. Can't sing at all.
Dennis, what's your secret?
Oh, my God.
No secrets. No secrets.
He's transparent.
I always looked at it like I was impersonating.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's what I do.
Just singing to the radio, and
that's what I used to do.
That's how I do it.
I took a few lessons in college.
Yeah.
Learned how to use my head voice.
Yep.
Right, and you know, come from the diaphragm when I want to go down low.
Yep.
But
we learned that from Mr.
Easy though. Family show.
Leave it alone.
Family show.
Remember Mr. Alfers? He was our vocal teacher. He lived on McKinley Boulevard. He taught us that. But I'm a lesson of David Lee Roth. I open it up and I shout it out. And I never try to sing. So that's it.
Wow! DTV.
You mentioned that Battle of the Bands.
Yeah.
We were in that. That's where we did Run to the Hills.
Run to the... Oh, yeah, you guys killed it. I remember that. I was blown away, man. You got high check marks on that one. I was what the one that... what was a band from Oklahoma?
Uncle Bill.
Uncle Bill.
They guys were great.
They ended up winning. We voted for them to be the winners. I don't know why, but they were just wow. I don't even know what happened to those guys. They were from like Tulsa, Oklahoma or whatever, but yeah.
My main.
We got down to the riverfront, so I guess we finished somewhere.
Yeah, we had you voted up there.
Yeah, and Conquest was down there.
Yes. Good friends of
And-
ours. Actually, we did a show with Conquest over at Pops. What, 2 years ago? They let us play
they're
with
still
them. They did an
together.
all original set over Pops. So
That
it
was
was 2
before
years.
the pandemic, wasn't it?
Yeah.
No, that ain't been long ago. That was maybe 3 years ago. I think
You got to get on the mic, man.
Chad
You're just
Tennant.
moving your lips.
I think Chad Tennant played bass on that one. Remember?
Streaming.
Yep. It
Yeah.
was me, you, and Jay, and Chad. Over Pops. So 3 years ago.
Was it 3 years
He's
ago?
trying to
was.
convince him.
Losing track of time, aren't you?
I'm going to Facebook.
I don't remember that.
So what we do know
What do we do now?
is that Saturday,
Yeah.
there's going to be an 80s mixer.
Yeah.
And that's happening. It's the music's getting kicked off at 6 p.m. Down at Max Time Out under the new big fancy guitar that you see there. Did we make it through most of Saturday? We got off on a blues and rock and roll tangent there. Had a little history lesson.
Two more legends playing on Saturday.
Who else?
Now, this guy and his brother, right? Ronnie Van Zant was about to record their third
Yeah.
album. They were going to go on tour with them when the plane went down, and they were sitting in a restaurant and heard about it. And that's Mr. Pat Liston
Yeah.
playing at the Hog Pit
Yeah.
on
And
Saturday from 2 to 6.
And Pat
I
has
remember
got
that.
this
I remember that. Was that only just
silky
2 years
smooth
ago?
voice still
Oh,
to
yeah,
this
it was
day,
longer.
man. Just unbelievable. So there you go.
So, yeah,
One,
Mama's Pride.
half of Mama's
played the
Pride.
Kramer.
So what else we got?
Well, we got members of the Birds.
Huh?
Like
Oh, yeah? Any original ones?
Rogers and Nienhouse played with
You were down there at
Michael
that
Clark.
Pops thing we did, weren't
The
you?
drummer
You
from,
and your
the
wife were
Birds?
sitting there, you were out right
Was he
outside.
original?
Yeah.
Drummer of the
Paul-
Birds?
It was kind of a tribute, right? It was called the Birds Celebration or something.
Oh, okay.
Well,
And
he's
then David Crosby sued him.
three times David Crosby has sued him now. and the funny thing is, Crosby wasn't an original member of the Birds.
It was.
Yeah.
Was he?
I thought he came along.
think he was.
Was he on the first album?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought he came on the second album. All right. Yeah, okay. That takes me by surprise because I really thought he wasn't on the first album. But all right.
I don't think
All right,
Michael
I'll take
Clark
it
was a
back.
drummer, and the bass player was a mandolin player when the Birds were.
Yeah.
Chris Hillman.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Played with Garcia.
Tom knows more
Yeah,
about it than you, Tom.
played with Garcia and
I dig some Birds, man.
Vassar
dig
Clemens,
birds
all those
too.
guys, man.
Cardinals, Blue Jays, Eagles.
Yeah, so I think
The Foo Bird.
the what's his name? Paul Rogers came in when Clark was still in it, but Clark was the only original member.
Right.
But he still had the right to call it the Birds.
Paul told us the story of being down in Macon, Georgia, and hanging out in the jam room with the Allman Brothers and watching
Yeah.
them practice. So
Right
that's a
on.
pretty cool story.
Yeah. I think he was the one. He was hanging out in a jam room one time, and he said suddenly there was a call, and they said Vassar Clemens needs a ride from the airport. Anybody want to get him? He's like, me. I want to get him. I want to pick him up. Yeah.
He made me say, Paul, it's Terry Jones. Right?
Terry Jones. Yeah, Terry Jones Rogers. Did I say Paul Rogers? I'm thinking
Yeah.
of Free. I'm thinking of All Right Now.
You took
Paul
me-
Rogers and Free.
Right now.
And we have Free Birds.
Right?
Free Birds. Free Birds.
Wait, I don't know if you caught it, Tom, but we were talking about Mama's Pride.
Indeed.
There for a second. Who,
Yeah.
almost were produced by Ronnie Van Zant.
Ronnie Van Zant was supposed to produce their next album.
Matter of fact,
They've got a show coming up.
the story
They
goes.
do. The Liston
yeah,
brothers.
Danny
Danny and
Hey, we were produced by Steve Kerfman.
But
Now, don't
they're
forget
doing
that.
they're doing the Liston Brothers, and then they're
He was
coming back
badass.
and doing the Mama's Pride set.
Oh, nice.
I just heard it on the radio last night.
Nice.
He was with the Atlanta Rhythm section, I
I
think.
know. Oddly.
Who's that? What are you guys talking about?
Kerfman.
Steve Kerfman?
Yeah.
Is that what you just said?
Yeah, he produced two of our albums.
He was
He
the
worked with the
sound
Atlanta
man.
Rhythm section, and then we had Mark Bill and Benny Quinn. They worked with Bon Jovi and Tori Amos and the Blues Travelers.
Yeah, Kerfman
So we
was,
had a lot of different producers working on our albums that were big time.
Kerfman was your sound guy for a while. He was
Yes,
like
he
was
worked in
out.
the studio. He produced our album that actually the one that hit big.
Me-
That produced that top 100 hit down by the river, by the way, which we're going to play that.
Nice.
Which, I think we might be the only band in town that actually had a top 100 hit here around town. So I'll plug that. Cha-ching. But yeah, Kerfman produced that. He worked for the Atlanta Rhythm section. I think he was their live tour sound guy.
He was
their live tour sound guy. Actually, my parents, God rest their soul, they hired him, bought him a car.
I remember.
They
I remember
that. Paid, to take care of us and run our sound and get our gear in order because we had spent $60,000 on some gear.
Steve.
No,
Steve really was the key to that sound.
Steve was a genius.
Because the thing that he told me, one time he goes, everybody's running it like a rock band.
Passenger. Don't forget Passenger.
That's right. But he goes, everybody's running the sound like a rock band. He said, I'm running your sound like a country guy would approach this. Yeah. So all the hi-hat stuff came popping out, and all the definition was there that you didn't often get back in the day with guys doing what they're doing. It's like, and he came at it with a different answer, and it's like, and it kind of set us apart.
Well, I remember.
And you remember too when Passenger kind of took a break. Then they didn't have nothing going on. Remember, they kind of took us under their wings with Steve and Pumper.
I was going to say,
and you worked with Pumper.
I was going to say, I worked with him.
You learned everything from Pumper. And that was pretty much Passenger's gig.
Good and bad.
So we kind of took over their gear.
I remember
in the mid-'80s.
I remember when Kerfman first started with you. He lived in some apartment down in Woodruff.
Yes.
I would actually have to drive down and pick him up for the first couple of gigs.
And then my mom and dad gave him a station wagon.
Yeah, I drove down and picked him up for the first couple of gigs, but he blew my mind because he was the first guy that I had no idea what he was doing, and I had to constantly ask him, what are you doing, and why are you doing that? And man, that dude taught me a lot about.
I'll tell you what, and in my recording studio that I built back in 2000, there's many cables that he custom built. Remember his briefcase with his soldering gun?
Yeah.
I've had many of those cords that I bought at the stores failed. They're still surviving here. Almost 35 years later, they're still hooked up to my gear, and they're still work flawlessly because he built them by hand. Remember, we'd buy spools of wire, and you guys would get ends and solder, and you guys would make the cords that we needed, how long we needed them. The ones that he made still survive today.
Yeah, the scrap ones aren't. Yeah, the ones you made are garbage. The ones that Kerfman made are still there, man.
The ones that you made be like tied a U-Haul door down with it.
It's like hug solder things.
He was better than Rapco.
Man, so that's a lot of memories coming back. Just the name Steve Kerfman and old Pumper Mike, man. A couple of dudes that both taught me a whole lot about sound and lights and all of that stuff.
They were the best in the area, man. I mean, they were.
Oh yeah, I still, there's still to this day stuff that I.
Chris Childress, yes.
Chris makes all them chords just like you're talking about. You go to his house and he's in the garage. He's got this setup. He's got this thing that comes down over his head and looks up.
Tell him, David, that
it's amazing.
He's going to be doing the sound for us this weekend.
He will be our sound man this week, and Atlantic Rhythm Section sound man, Master Tech Sound and Lighting. Yes. But he would do it right in his garage with these funny helmets on so he could see it, and you get your cable. But like you said, they last forever.
Yeah.
And a lot of times it's just an extension cord. So like an old big thick extension cord, he would grab it, cut the ends off, be like, that would be your cord.
There you go.
Heavy duty.
Heavy duty. Yeah. He's going to be right, and he's another undecided sound guy.
He actually, when I did originals, he did all of our work. He would come in and he dialed everything in. We had a producer guy, but Chris helped with the sound. On the recording, he's great.
We met Chris when he came in town with Riff Raff back in the 80s. That's how we met Chris.
Yeah.
He moved here from I think it was in Minnesota or something.
They're all from Minnesota. Him, Bozer, all the Riff Raff guys. And they'll tell you stories. You can't leave your animals out in the barn because they'll freeze to death. You'll just go out there, you'll have a dog sickle. You got to bring it in. And these guys talk about this. They lost all their family dogs growing up. They all froze to death.
Yeah.
And they would tell you that you would freeze to death if you didn't know what you were doing.
They decided to move to St. Louis.
In Minnesota, I should say.
So, Minnesota. Yeah, that's a good. What? It's horrible, I know.
That was like...
Well, we're running low on time. I got to say, I thank you guys for having us on.
Thank you very much.
And everybody come down Saturday night. Max downtown Alton. They don't call it Timeout no more, but we know it's Timeout.
really.
It's Max downtown Alton. So
Breaking
the new
news.
stage, the
Should be
big
just
party,
called Max
and then
Block.
we got the Undecided. We got Porch Cafe. We got the Bishops, and then Sunday we got the Atlanta Rhythm section, and the whole town's going to be hopping. We got the expo going on, and we're ready to party. And this is going to be great, like it was 1985 all over again.
What's going to be
Tom
perfect?
Poland's son, Jacob Poland's headlining the overnight warming location benefit down at Shea, Maryland on
right.
Sunday, and then Porch Cafe who's playing with you guys on Saturday. They're playing down at the Expo on Sunday from 1 to 5.
Nice.
And I don't know if you guys were old enough to play the Granary.
No, we missed out on the Granary.
So the Granary reunions happen on Sunday too at the VFW in
Who's playing there?
Paul Light's band Griffin.
Yeah.
Topus, Alice and Omar,
Topaz?
Epic, and Faustus, all possible members from those
That's
bands. all
I haven't heard Faustus name Faustus in a long time.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's a blast from the way past, right there.
That's like right before our time, dude.
Yep.
Get up on there.
Get up on there.
Get up on that thing.
No, that's right before the Undecided. That's like we were little kids.
I mean, you just stop and think about how many bands and rock and roll history we just went through in an
Yes,
hour, all
yes.
from this area.
And think about it, if it wasn't for a band like Passenger, with their crew, they kind of helped us start in the mid 80s. It was passed on. That was a band from the 70s, early 80s, then on back. So, and we passed on to the next band, the next generation,
Right.
like 300 State, when I ran sound down there for years, gave all these original bands a shot to play their own stuff.
Right.
I ran Sound Lights for them. We just pass it on,
Absolutely, man. And that's why this place is always booming with music. That's why we have like Mark Quinn and guys from St. Louis come over and sit where you're sitting, and they'll hear us read these gigs and go, there's not that many gigs in St. Louis. But over here we got a booming music and art scene in this.
It's been booming since we were kids, really, even before.
Yeah,
Yeah,
something,
Booming since the 40s.
Something we definitely learned was, and you guys know this, how many times has somebody come up to you and said, hey, you know such and such from this band, but you're always playing. You don't see the other band,
you're right. I know them, but I ain't heard them.
And since we've started doing this, now we're meeting all these bands and finding all these places. We're like, man, this has been going on for a long time, and, you just don't hear about it when you're doing your own circle. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, it's
We are
amazing.
like the original L.A. Lower Alton.
I hadn't actually put two and two together, but somebody was telling me one time that the reason Alton has such a cool art scene is because of all the captains of industry, the Cleed and Owens, Illinois, and all the stuff. There were all these places, and those guys wanted nice things in town.
Yes.
And so it kind of ran together, and so they started sponsoring like the Little Theater and all those different things that became part of what Alton is.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, having Halpin music, having Jody Hopper, having like the same thing you're doing now, putting instruments in people's hands.
Yeah.
And again, just happening to be where the place where the river turns and starts to run backwards, just weirdness happens there. Everything goes backwards. Everything gets weird. You don't notice it when you live here.
Yeah. So,
Let's roll it Saturday, baby. Let's rock. I'm ready. The guys are ready. Everybody come on downtown.
We're going to do it down by the river.
Where the river runs northeast. Like the only time the Mississippi does that.
This is true.
It's a rare spot. All right. Hey, well, thanks to Mike Lombardi, Damian Whitman, Paul Steinbrueck, Don Sandage, and Tom Pullen. Tom Pullen. And man,
Mojo.
thanks for all the memories, guys. I mean, seriously, just sitting here talking.
You're going to be there, right?
Oh yeah.
We're going to create more Saturday.
I'm going to be there Saturday, and then Sunday I'll be right down the road at the Owls Warming Center.
It'll be a
so
Sunday.
everybody come down to
In
that.
fact, you don't even need to go home. You can just stay down there.
I often do. I have a certain bush I sleep.
Thank you, Scrap.
Stevie Ray Vaughan
Thank you,
Jr.
Dennis. We appreciate you, man.
Thank
we
you,
love you, boys. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, man. Big thanks to Halpin Music for sponsoring the show for 10 years. Matt Van Voorhis of Macias Insurance. Everybody get out this weekend and support local music and art.